This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, all, welcome back. So today we are going to start Git. Okay, so Git will take 5 sessions. Fine. So yeah, can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes, Ram.
Fine. So basically, what is Git? Very less count is there today, right? Fine. So introduction to Git and GitHub. So basically, what is outline? This is outline. Introduction to source control. Introduction to Git. Introduction to GitHub. Okay. Fine. Basically, what is Git? So Git is we already discussed about Git. Git is a repository tool and version control tool, right? Repository. Repo means repository. Basically, what is repository? So where we save our data, where we save our source code is nothing but a repository, right? So repos can contain folders and files, images, videos, spreadsheets, and data sets, anything your project needs. Repositories can be anything, right? Next one is version control system. What is version control? మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం already. Yesterday we discussed. What is version control? So track the changes. It will track the changes over time, right? Track changes over time. So a way to manage files and directories, track changes over time, recall previous versions. Source control is a subject of a VCS, version control system, right? So normally, who did changes, when did changes, what purpose they did changes. So we'll track using version control system. So in Java, we will have like 100, 200 lines will be there code. So for example, one developer wrote the code today. After 1 month, he will come back and check that. So he may confuse who wrote this code. So here, version control system will help you to track the changes, right? Fine. So he's the person Linus Torvalds, who invented Linux kernel. So he created Git. He created Git kernel. Okay. So it is a replacement for Bitkeeper to manage Linux kernel changes. Okay. So he's a Torvald who developed this kernel, Git kernel. So Git also developed in Linux only, Linux kernel only. Okay. So Git developed in Linux kernel. So that is why whatever Linux commands we have, that we can execute in Git. So Git commands will not work in Linux. Linux commands will work in Git. Fine. Yeah, popularity. So Git popularity. So in 2009, 2.4%. 2009. So when it was started, by the time 2.4% only. So project teams used to use. Okay. So Subversion, by the time Subversion was very popular. SVN. Okay, 57.5%. So 6.8% Git here in 2010. So here 58%. Like that, slowly Subversion is decreased and Git is increased. So we discussed yesterday what is Subversion. Subversion also, it is a repository tool. So in like 3 years before, we used to use Subversion in our project as repository tool. So by the time, normally Git will not allow binary formats, binary files, and Git will not allow more than 100 MB file size. Subversion will allow all file formats without any size limit. So due to this, Subversion was failed because people used to upload whatever they have personal data. They used to upload into Subversion control. Subversion is a repository, right? So developers, testers, okay, build and release engineers, everyone used to upload their personal data also into subversion control. That is why, so almost every alternate days we used to observe performance issues with the subversion control system. Okay, so that is why 3 years before we decommissioned this subversion and we have integrated Git. Since 3 years we haven't faced any single issue with the Git. Okay. Yeah, so most popular languages used in Git. So these are the languages will support Git. So yesterday we discussed some formats, war file, jar file, ER file, right? So Git will support all these languages. So these are these examples, okay? Still it will support so many languages, okay? So these are the languages it will support. And also Git is a distributed version control system, okay? Git is a distributed version control system. So this is a traditional way. This is SVN. SVN is having only one repository. So for example, if any developer want to push the changes into remote repository, so they need to push to this single repository. Okay, so but whereas in Git, it is a distributed version control system. So every client will have one repository. Whenever developer did the changes in their local, so once the development is completed, testing is completed, they can push to repository. So I explain this, okay? What is distributed repository? How this repos will be connected, local repositories, I will explain. These are the local repositories, not remote repositories. This is also local repository. So yeah, how to push changes to local repository? So we'll discuss. Yeah, how do I get this? Okay, fine. So next, what we will do, Git, we can install configure in our local. Git is a very small application, so it's very simple one. Okay, Git only we can install in our local laptop. So from Jenkins onwards, so we install configure on only cloud servers. Okay, only Git we can install on in your local. So before that, yeah. So here we have two developers, X developer and Y developer. So this is Git local. So once develop the code in Git local, once complete the development and testing is completed, then the code will be pushed to GitHub. This is a remote repository or GitHub. So remote repository. Fine. So first we install configure Git, then we'll move this. Okay, move into this concept. Right. So to install configure Git,
in real time also systems.
Yeah, in real time also Git will be installed in your local laptop or desktop. Okay. Yeah, you can search here, download Git. Just search like download Git. So download Git for Windows. Just search like this. You can open first URL. Okay, so here we need to check whether our operating system is 32-bit or 64-bit. So we are using 64-bit, almost Windows 10. Everyone using Windows 10, right? we can download this 64-bit. So Windows downloads. Click on this. Okay, so this is not showing Windows symbol. So it should show some Windows symbol. So let us go back here. Let us go to direct official site, Git SCM, downloads, Git for Windows. So Windows symbol, it should show Windows symbol, otherwise it will give errors. Yeah. So this one, we can use this one. Click on this Windows. Same URL it is showing. Git for Windows portable. Okay, you can take portable if it is not working. Yeah. Let us try to download this. One second. Fine. So it is not showing. Download, your download is starting 64-bit for Windows. Click on this. Why it is not happening? Could not understand. So it should show some Windows symbol. That is why. Okay, let us click on this. What will happen? Let us click on this. What will happen? We'll see that. Yeah, finally. So this is showing Windows symbol. So you can download this version, 64-bit version. 64-bit version you can download into your laptop. So it is small exe file. Okay. So once you download this, click on this, double click on this. So this is Git for Windows and click on S. Okay. Now it is showing like this. So click on next here. Once you click on next here, it is showing like Windows Explorer integration, Git bash here, Git GUI here. It is showing two options here, Git bash and Git GUI. So in real projects, we don't use GUI. We always use bash, command line only, right? So you can uncheck in real time. So if you want to keep this, you can keep in your test lab, in your laptop, not an issue. You can select this and click on next. Then you can click on install. So once it is installed, it will ask you to finish that. Okay, after that, yeah, I already installed in my laptop. That is why I'm canceling this. So it's very simple. Okay, you can select this and you can click on next. Then you can install. After that, you can finish. Once you finish that, I'm canceling this. Go back to desktop, your desktop, and right click here. So you will get this Git bash here, Git GUI here. You will get this symbol. You will get Git here. Okay. So if you get this, it is successfully installed, right? Fine. So once you install this, okay. Next one is we'll try to understand Git workflow. We'll try to understand Git workflow. Just a minute, someone is keep on calling. Fine. So we'll try to understand Git workflow. Yeah. In Git workflow, first one is this is local workspace. This is local workspace. Git local workspace. We can say Git local workspace. So Git local workspace. So workspace is like just it is a folder. So normally when developers start development, okay, they will create one folder in their desktop or their system, their laptop. Okay, so just this is a Git local workspace. Okay, workspace means just like folder. Okay, so now what I will do, I create one folder in my desktop. This is local workspace. Okay, so this is just folder. This is a local workspace. Now what I need to do, I want to initialize as a local Git. I want to initialize as a Git local. Fine. Before that, so to initialize this as a local workspace, local Git workspace, command here is git init. Git init is the command to initialize local Git workspace. Okay, so and now what I will do here, so this folder, whatever folder I created here, I open this folder. Okay, first what I will do, I right click on this folder and open git bash here. I open the folder and I click on git bash here. Now I open git bash inside of the folder. Now what I want to do, I want to initialize as a local Git workspace. Okay, for which command here is git init. Fine. So I initialize Git repository. See here, initialized empty Git repository in this path. Users, yeah, desktop. This is the local workspace. So one .git file will be created once you initialize as a local workspace, local Git repository workspace. Okay, one .git file is created. Okay, so I'll show you that. See here, .git file is created inside of the folder. Fine. If it is not created, if it is not showing in your server, in your system, so you need to go to views and you need to check this hidden files, hidden items. You can check, you can put the check mark here, then only it will show you .git file. And also it will show you in the bash prompt, it will show you, see here, initialized empty Git repository. It will show you like this. Means what will happen? What happened here? It is initialized as a local workspace. Okay. Next one is what I will do here. I will add some files here. I want to add some files inside of this. So this is completely developer activity. This is not DevOps engineer activity. Okay. So this is completely developer's activity. Fine. So I create one file here, vi ram.txt. Okay. Enter. Insert mode. Hit I. So it will show you insert mode, vi editor. Okay. And next one is you can add something here. Okay. Hi, this is first program. This is first program. Okay. Escape, shift colon, WQ, save and quit. Enter. Now it is saved. So once save this file, imagine this is a development activity. Developer wrote some code, some Java code, for example. So once the file is saved, so next one is, if you check this status of this file, what will happen? We'll see that. Okay, command here is git status. So the file is showing red color, means still development is going on. This file is ram.txt file is showing red color, means it is still development is going on, right? Yeah. Once development is completed, so we need to move this file to staging area. So in the Git flow, currently we are in Git workspace. Okay, once development is completed, we added one file right here. So vi ram.txt, and we wrote some code inside of this file, right? Once complete this, so we need to move this file to staging area. So this is staging area. Staging area, index area. Okay, so to move this file from local workspace to staging area, the command here is git add file name. Git add file name. Okay, so now I want to move this file from local workspace to staging area. So command here is git add space file name ram.txt. Enter. Now this file is moved to staging area. Now if you check here git status, so the file will show you green color, means so development is completed, the file is moved to staging area. Now this file is ready to commit. Okay, now once move this file into staging area, if you want to unstage this, if you want to bring back this file into local workspace, command is this, the command git space hyphen git space rm space hyphen cached file name. So this file is in staging area now. If you want to unstage this is the command. So now I want to unstage this, git rm space hyphen cached file name ram.txt. Now it is unstaged. Now if you check git status, see here the file is showing a red color, means still it is in development stage. It is in workspace, local workspace. Okay, now what I will do, I want to add something inside of this. Insert mode. Okay, second change something, escape, save and quit. Okay, now I want to move this file to staging. Git add space file name ivachu. You can give file name or else you can give dot also. If you give dot, what will happen? Whatever files are available, all of the files will be moved to staging area. You can use dot also. Okay, git add space dot. Enter. Now the file is moved to staging area. Git status. The file is showing as green color, means so it is moved to staging area. Right? The file is moved to staging area. So once it is moved to staging area, so that file is ready to commit. Whatever file we moved from local git to local workspace to staging area, the file is ready to commit. Okay. So now we can commit this file. We need to move to commit area. This is commit area. Or local git. You can say local git. This is commit area or local git. Okay. Now, if you want to move this file from staging area to commit area, the command here is, so we have command which is git commit -m and commit message. Some first program, something we can give. First program. So to commit our code, so this is the command git commit -m. So commit message. Okay. So I want to commit this now. Git commit -m commit message. First program. Enter. Now this code is committed to local git repository or commit area. We can say commit area. So before this, actually once we initialize our local git repository, so we need to create one user. Okay, that I'll show you. Fine. So once we committed this, if you check git log here, git log. So what it is showing? So it is showing one commit ID. Also, who did changes? Rama did changes. When did changes? Friday, June 11th, 8:29, he did some changes. What purpose he did changes? First program. He wrote something, comment, which is first program. Right? So based on these comments, Git will track the versioning. So once we commit the code, one commit ID will be generated. From here, tracking will be started. Got it, right? In local workspace, we can't track any code here. In staging also, we can't track. Once we commit the code, tracking will be started. From here, so this is local Git. This is local Git. So here, I give you something like, yeah. So this is Git local, right? So before this stage, we have, one second. Right. So before this stage, so this is local Git. This is Git local. Before this, we have two stages. Like here, we have staging area. Before this, we have local workspace. This is local workspace. So this is staging area. So after that, we have local Git. This is the workflow basically. From here, tracking will be started. See here. From here, once we commit the code, one commit ID will be generated, and also it will start tracking the who did changes, when did changes, what purpose they did changes. Any questions up to here? Anyone?
Until this one developer will do, right?
This is completely development activity. Every developer should follow this process. Once development is completed in their local workspace, they need to move to staging area. After that, they need to commit the code. This is completely development activity.
And same comments in Linux also, same comments.
Yes, same commands. Yes. So these are the Linux commands only. Git init Linux command. Okay. So Linux commands we can execute in Git.
Okay.
Any other questions up to here? Any confusions? So this is Git workflow. How Git will work.
Hi Ram, git commit -m means -m what indicates?
Yeah, it is option. Okay. So it will take some comment here, for which we are using -m. The comment which we are executing here, for which we required -m.
Okay.
It is the option.
Okay. And the VI file editor, the saving option is same as Linux VI editor, WQ?
Same. VI editor is
Okay.
same. Whatever
Okay.
we are using in Linux, the same way here also we use. Fine. So next one is, once our code is moved to commit area, means local Git. Next, what we will do? We'll push that code to a remote repository, GitHub, right? This is a remote repository. GitHub. Okay. Yeah. So, and one more thing, important one. Once we initialize this local workspace, we need to create one user. So why we require user? To track this, who did changes, when did changes, what purpose they did changes. One user is required to start the tracking, right? In real time, normally when we join into the project, we'll get some LDAP user, okay? That will be tracked here. But in our local laptop, in our personal laptop, so we need to create one user here. How to create user? So we'll try to understand now, okay? Yeah. To create user, command here is second something. To create user, command here is git config --global --global user dot name in double quotes username. I already having Rama user. Now I want to change into Ram user. So because only one user will be accepted here. Okay. Next one is, we need to add email also. Along with username, we need to add email also. Git config --global --global user dot email, and in double quotes email also we need to give. Okay. And also, if you want to check whether user is created or not, command here is git config space --list to check this. Okay, fine. Now what I will do, I want to change my user. So here I have already Rama user. Now I want to update. I want to change the user. And also you can create user. How to create user? I'm showing now. Git config space --global user dot name space in double quotes. I want to create Ram user. Rama already there. I want to change into Ram user. Okay. Enter. Now user is created. Next one is email. Also we need to create user dot email. So you can update email ram@gmail.com. Enter. Email created. Now if you want to check this whether it is created or not, git config space --list. See here, user.name, Ram user, user.email. This is the email, ram@gmail.com. Okay. Now, when I delete this repository and when I start working on this, it will show you my new name. Until that time, so old user, it will show you. Okay. Now what I will do? So again, we can perform this activity. I'll show you once again. This workflow, I show you once again. After that, how to push this code into GitHub. So we'll try to understand. Okay. So again, from here, I'll show you. So I remove this folder. First, I close this. Delete this folder. First, what we did, we created one folder, just workspace. I gave the name workspace. And next one is we need to open this folder and right click here inside of the folder. Click on Git bash here. Once we click on this, once we open this, next one, if you want to initialize as a local workspace, what is the command? What is the command we give?
Git init.
Git init, right? Yeah. Git init. We are initializing as a local workspace. Enter. Now it is showing initialized empty Git repository. This is the path. So we gave workspace as a name, right? Also, we'll get one .git file inside of the folder. Means it is initialized successfully, right? Next one is once we initialize this, we can create user. This user we can create git config -- global user.name. You can create like this. After that, so we can add some file vi git.txt. Enter. Insert mode. Go to insert mode. Okay. Second program something. So escape here. Save and quit. Okay. Now once we create the file, so if you want to check the status, command here is git status. Now this file is showing a red color, means still development is going on. Okay. So once complete the development, this file should be moved to staging area or index area. So to move this file from local workspace to index area or staging area, command here is git add, right? Git add space dot we can use. Enter. Now this file is moved to staging area. Now if you check git status, this file is showing green color, means it is moved to staging area. Now if you want to unstage this file, you can use this command git rm -- cached file name to move back to workspace. Now we can move this file back to workspace. Git rm space -- cache space file name git.txt. Enter. Now it is moved to local workspace. It is moved back to workspace. Now if you check git status, it is showing red color, means it is moved back to local workspace. So you can edit, if you want to edit this file, you can edit. Okay, something you can add here. Insert mode. Something you can add here. Escape, save and quit. So git status, still it is showing red color, means it is in local workspace. Now I want to move this file into staging area. Git add space dot, enter. Now if you check git status, it is showing green color, means it is moved to staging area. Now this file is ready to commit. now I want to commit this file. Git commit -m commit message. Something, you can give something, comment, enter. Okay, the file is committed to local Git repository. Fine. Now if you check here, git log, see here, name has been changed right here. Earlier it was Rama name. Now it is Ram. So this is commit ID, who did changes, when did changes, and what purpose did it changes. So based on this comments, Git will track the versioning. Is it clear to you, everyone? Any questions still?
So, sir, the editing can be done only in local workspace, not in staging area, right?
Yeah. So in local workspace, we can edit the code. We means developers. Okay, we don't edit as a DevOps engineer. Developers will edit. So if you move this
So
code into
to edit
commit
that
area,
one,
go ahead, please. Even once you
nothing,
commit the
just
code
we have to
also,
move back to the local workspace to edit, right? Okay.
exactly. Yeah. Fine. Next one is GitHub. Okay, we can move this code to GitHub. So if you want to move this code from local Git to GitHub remote repository, so we require one GitHub account. So how to create GitHub account, I'll show you now, and how to push this code into GitHub, we'll see that. Okay, fine. We require
Yes,
one
sir, I
GitHub
have a
account.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
For example, if we move the code to GitHub, our local repository, and then we come to know that there is some changes that the code is not correct and want to delete. So,
Okay,
how to do that?
we can delete simply, so not an issue. I'll show you that going forward. We have different sessions. Okay, so we'll see that. Don't worry. If you want to delete any file, you can delete simply. So like in Linux, how can we delete the files? The same way we can delete. I'll show you that. Don't worry. Yeah. Now,
Also,
how to
from
create?
one doubt, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
So once the code is changed, the older code will be available, or that will be
Available.
changed?
Available.
So how many corrections we have done to the code? All the versions of code will be available in Git.
Yes. So whenever we commit any changes, one commit ID will be generated. So like that, so many commit IDs will be generated. So whatever changes happen, the changes will be available inside of the local Git.
Okay. Yeah.
Fine. Now, how to create GitHub account? So we'll try to understand. GitHub.com. The link URL is github.com. Just open this. So this is already saved my credentials. That is why it is open directly. So these are the repositories. Okay. I sign out this once. Fine. So once you type github.com, the website will be open like this. Once it is open, so we need to sign up the account here. Click on sign up. First time when you open this, we need to sign up and we need to create one account here. So here, create your account, username, okay, email address and password. These fields are mandatory. So username, you can use your email ID. So email ID also you can give same ID and you can give password, okay, email preferences and create account. It is very simple. So like Google Gmail account, like it is Gmail account. It is very simple steps to create account. So it will not ask you any credit card details, debit card details. It is free account. Okay, you can create like this. It is very simple. You can create like this. Once the account is created, click on sign in, and you can give username, password. So click on sign in and give username, password, and click on sign in. We are able to log in into our account. We can able to log in, right? So once we log in into the account, very first thing, we need to create one repository. So these are all repositories, my previous batches, different repositories. Since long I created repositories, so many repositories are available. Okay, so first time we need to create one repository here. So for which you can use this, click on new repository, or else go to right side corner. Here we have plus symbol. If you click on this plus symbol, so it will show you new repository. So click on this new repository, right? So here it is asking repository name. You can give repository name DevOps batch 39. Okay, so like this you can give repository name. And next one is the description is optional, and public repository, private repository. So always we need to select public repository. So private repository is secured and licensing. So if you select private repository, it will ask you credit card details. In real projects, we use private repositories only. But in our test labs, we use public repository. Public repository is free of cost. Private repository is costing, pricing. You can select public repository and create repository. Click on this. So our repository is created. This is the repository. Now if you click on this symbol, see here. Here we have, this is our repository. Open this repository. This is our repository. Now I want to push this file into, so we have one file, right, in our local Git. So that I want to push into remote repository. Okay, so to push this file into remote repository, so comments here. First, we need to establish the connection between local repository and remote repository. So if you want to push any code into remote repository, first we need to establish the connection between local repository and remote repository. To establish the connection, command here is git remote add origin. Origin is the origin is the variable. Okay, in place of origin you can put your name also, but this is standard name. Don't put your name. You can use standard names. Okay, git remote add origin and a GitHub URL. Here you can give GitHub URL. So to establish the connection, this is the command. Once establish the connection, next if you want to push this code into GitHub, git push -u origin to master. Okay, this is the command to push code into a remote repository. Okay, now we can establish the connection between Git and GitHub, for which we required remote repository URL. This is the GitHub URL. Copy this and go to local repository, local workspace. So command here is git remote add origin. Origin is the variable. So here you can paste the URL, remote repository URL. Enter. Now it is established. Connection is established between local repository and remote repository. Now you can simply push this git push -u origin to master. What is master? We'll explain tomorrow. Okay, git push -u origin to master. Enter. Now our code is pushing to remote repository. Done. It is pushed to remote repository. Now you can check here, click on this and open once this repository. This is our repository. See here. This is our file, git.txt, second change. So 10 minutes ago, we created this file. Instead of this file, we have some content. Second program, we put something inside of this. Okay, this is our file. Got it right? Any questions here?
Sir, we can edit this file here.
Yeah, in GitHub also we can customize this file, but it is not recommended. In GitHub, normally we don't do any changes. We means developers will not do any changes. That is not recommended way. In local only, they will do the changes. Fine. Yeah. So you can.
To do changes again, they need to pull back this to local.
Yeah. Normally, in GitHub, developers will not change any code. That is not recommended. So if they want to change anything, they will pull back to local and they can change this code. Here also we can change, it will allow to change. I'll show you that. But normally in GitHub, we don't do any changes. Okay, so any other questions, anyone? Yeah, you can practice this. You can create one GitHub account and you can try to push the code into GitHub account. Okay, so this weekend you can practice. So Monday we will work on Git branching strategies. What is branching? What is agile methodology? So what is our waterfall methodology? Okay, how branches will help you to develop the code. Okay, so these things will cover on Monday. So up to here you can practice. If you have any questions, you can post. You can take the screenshot and you can post in the group. Okay, so these are basic things. So first we need to understand these things, then only we can understand further sessions. Okay, we need to understand first this. This is very important. Fine. Any questions, anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Once file is commit, we cannot uncommit that.
Yeah, once it is commit, we can edit the file. So that I'll show you. Simply we can edit, nothing to worry. But again, when you commit again second time, by the time one more commit ID will be generated. Okay, that I'll show you. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Sir, in this process, is there any DevOps engineer role, or it's completely a developer role till this?
Yeah, this is completely developer role. This is completely developer role. Okay. So, but we need to guide the developers. We need to guide them. Okay. So developers, they will do some mistakes sometimes. Okay. We need to guide them. That is why we need to know this process. We should know this process. That is why we are discussing this. As a DevOps engineer, we need to aware of this process. Whenever new developer join into the project, we need to guide them how to start their work. Okay. Fine. So we stop here for today. So Monday we'll work on branching strategies, which is very, very important. Fine. Thank you all.